Hi friends, let me share something interesting with you today. Embroidery hoops are available in many different sizes and materials. I prefer working in wooden hoops, but plastic or metal options may work best for you. Your design may specify what size of hoop to work in, but sometimes a different sized hoop can be easier to hold and stitch into depending on the size of your hands. Smaller hoops can give you better tension, but you can always bind a larger hoop to give it more grips on your fabric. Be sure to remove your work from your hoop after each stitching session to avoid permanent hoop creases. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the bell icon on YouTube app and never miss any update. Generally, I stitch on 100% cotton, but please experiment with different weaves, types and colors to see what you enjoy embroidering on. Remember that light and thin fabrics may allow the backyard stitches to show through, so be sure to keep them neat. Please avoid stretchy fabric as a beginner. Needles come in lots of different shapes and sizes. It can be confusing trying to understand which to use. It is important to have a basic understanding because certain needles achieve different results. The three main types of needles used for embroidery have longer eyes than those used for plain sewing. This makes them easier to thread, particularly when using more than one strand of floss. All three needles come in a range of sizes where the higher the number, the thinner or smaller the needle. Depending on the size of floss being used, the correct size needle can be used to create the appropriate stitch and leave a minimum size hole once you move the needle through the fabric. Creole needles have sharp points and slightly elongated eyes. They are used for creole work and most surface embroidery where piercing through the fabric threads is necessary to the stitching. Creole needles are also called embroidery needles. Straw or milliner needles have an eye and shaft that are equal in thickness, which makes them ideal for French knots and bullion knots or any stitch where the needle must pass through multiple wraps of threads. Tapestry needles have long eyes and blunt points. They are used for countered work, drawn thread work, canvas work, or other types of needlework in which the point of the needle is not meant to pierce the fabric threads. The blunt tip of the needle helps us avoid snagging the foundation stitches. Chenille needles have a long eye like the eye on tapestry needles, but a sharp point, and can be used effectively in quill work and ribbon embroideries or any surface work where a longer eye and a sharp point is desired. Most patterns list color suggestions using standard 6 cotton embroidery floss. There are lots of brands and other floss materials to experiment with. Your design will let you know how many threads to use, 1 to 6, depending on how thick of a line the design calls for. You can separate your floss easily by pulling out one strand of a time with one hand and holding the remainder of the threads with your other hand. The most important tip I can pass on is bullion and cast-on stitches should be wrapped loosely on the needle. If you get them wound too tight, it is a struggle to get them slid off the needle. Discover fresh ways to use your favorite embroidery designs. The design highlights simple techniques and tricks you can apply to all kinds of projects. Let these ideas inspire your own unique creations. Thanks for watching our videos.